Everyone on their desk should have someone else's paper. Everyone should have someone else's prompts. Everyone's name for the grading should be at the bottom of the essays. Is everyone with me here? Okay, so what we are going to do today is we are going to be checking to make sure that they have completed the formatting. Right now, yesterday, I gave you all the content. You helped, but we gave you all the content. So the content I'm not quite worried about right now. What I am worried about is making sure your formatting is correct. Because if you can remember your formatting on May 16th, you're going to be significantly better on the AP exam. Okay, so the more we stress formatting now, the better our quality of life is for everyone. So with that being said, everyone should have colored pencils and crayons on their desk ready to go. So what is going to happen is that we are going to use my rubric to make sure that everyone has completed the necessary completed the necessary minimum. Okay, so what you are going to do, this is color purple, it's hard to see on that. So looking at the essays we wrote yesterday, okay, so have them out in front of you. What you're going to do for looking at question A, which we did together, we're going to practice together. When you restate the prompt using similar language, you're going to color it in purple, and pink, sorry. One change or development before 600 BCE that would support the author's assertion that trade causes changes can be seen. What? It's just that. Okay, can be seen. Okay, so we're just coloring in the restating of the prompt. That's all we're doing. Okay, so you color it pink. Then with purple, anytime they restate the period is the date range, ladies and gentlemen. So the date range, you're going to color it in purple. So this one, it says 600 CE, so you're going to color it in with that. Anytime that they actually answer the question, the answer to this question we came up with bronze, is that right? Did we do bronze? Okay, I thought it was. So in yellow, I'm going to highlight the word bronze. With the color green, I am going to explain why, I'm going to color in why their answer is correct. Okay, bronze began with a Shang, and it was a state secret that allowed, so you have to do some reading for the green, people. The Zhao, who came after the Shang, began spreading the technology to places like Mesopotamia. This is the actual answer. This is the explanation of the answer. It's way down here. This is the actual answer that we wrote yesterday. So the evidence is what we provided was the background knowledge that the Shang created it. And that was a state secret with the Shang, but with the Zhao, it begins to being spread. That is your evidence. So what is required is that you are to go through, you are to go through and color in the answers that these people have written. You need to be reading. Do not just start coloring in the chunks just like that. You have to actually read, because I will tell you right now, most of your peers, even though I wrote the essay, some of your peers aren't going to do everything that they were supposed to. So you need to go through. You're not spending hours and hours coloring, people. Do you see how fast we did that? Am I doing super perfect detail in the coloring? Nope, we're just trying to check that their formatting is there. So, begin reading their B and their C. Do not go to question 2 yet. What? The blue represents evidence. Sorry, I'll leave that there. So, you are going to go to C and begin checking their answers. You need to make sure you are reading their answers and you're not just going along and coloring for no reason. So what they're doing is going over yesterday's essay, so they're going to join us when we get to our next essays. So what they just did, you just saw them do, it's a vocab quiz. All those words come from here. So if you check out my board over there, you can not writing. See it? We're in week 5. So we've been doing this for So on Monday, as you can see from your homework board, you have vocabulary. So you're going to learn your vocab 11 through 20. It's all in here. And you're going to copy and paste it just like that. You're responsible for doing that. So that's due Monday. You're also going to have 2 essays. Figure it out, man. Figure it out. If this is just too much, as you heard when you were walking in, the drops. It's not because I'm charging you $40 a month. You use more money. If you're interested in dropping, you're not one first. If you want to stick it out and make it work, for some people, a quick start. But every single thing in this room goes overwhelmed at times as well. Can you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Megan, do you have a question? Perfect. What? Yes. No, it should have 6 sentences. Guys, your B should have 6 sentences. Don't you think? No. For your B, when it says there's 2 components, it should have 6 sentences. How many of you caught that? We have 1 person who caught it, so we'll be losing some points here in a second. So it should have 3 sections, which makes sense because you have to restate the prompt, answer the question, and move forward, right? That's when there's 2 parts, you have to do both. And they don't get the explain, which would be true. Even though they mention it, they have to explain it. You can't just say, if I ask you, like, what is your favorite movie, and you say Titanic, does that give me a full reason of why you love Titanic? No, you're a mom and you used to watch it when you were sick or some shit. And that's why. You don't color green? It's not there. What?
I have a question.
What?
The answer, I can't use it with
Then you can't read them. You shouldn't be coloring. So then you don't have that color in. No one should be moving past essay 1. No one should be moving past essay 1. So B should be your longest part. I see a couple people who did it right, and I'm glad to see that. I see a lot of people who did not do it right, and they'll have some points issues. What do you got?
So if they don't have it, you just don't color it. You don't write
Yeah,
it.
if it's not there, you can't color something that's not there. So everyone should be in part C right now. You've got about 20 seconds to finish part C because we want to keep moving because you want me to help you plan. Can we agree?
Yes.
So we need to keep moving. Three, 2, 1. Okay, so here's your rubric. Question 1. Part A has 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 5 points, just kidding. 5 points to it. So if they have everything, they restated the prompt, they wrote in the period, they have a correct answer, they've explained why everything is there, why the answer is correct, and they have evidence, then they get 5 points. Does that make sense logically? So on the side of the paper, as you see, you're going to write, next to question A, you're going to write whatever their score is out of 5. So I wrote this. I happen to write it correctly. It's a 5 out of 5 next to the A's. Everyone clear on how we're scoring this? Okay, so for B, B has 2 parts. So it is worth 10 points. 1 for part B, 1 for Mesopotamia, and 1 is for, I think we both used Mayans for it, correct? So next to B, you're going to write whatever their score is out of 10. What?
What if they mention Mesopotamia and that's not?
Then they probably didn't provide the evidence and they didn't explain their answer, or they probably didn't restate. So you have to figure out what they did and what they did not do. Then, of course, for your C, you're going back just to normal 5 points, which everyone should have because I planned it out for you. And so you should have the 5 points. If they got all 5 points, then you write next to the score. So, at the very top, once you've scored everything, so you need to figure out, did they earn all of their points? So everyone should have their total on the sides for each part, A, B, and C, totaled up. Okay, now once you have it done, you're going to write the grand total. It is out of 20. And you are going to write the grand total. This person, aka me, got a 16 out of 20, and it's going to be right by the top by their name. Does everyone see how we got these numbers? Yes? Any questions on what we just did? What?
So the second one has to have 6 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Because
much,
there's 2 parts.
okay. And how do you know how much to like take off for each thing?
Well, do they have 2 times where they mention the date? No. So they only have 1, so it's 1. They only have 1 group of green. It looks like a 5 out of 10 to me. Or it looks like a 6 out of 10 because they mentioned 2 different answers, so it looks like a 6 out of 10. Does that make sense? There you go. Okay, so at the very top, you should have a grand total over 20. Any questions on what this is supposed to look like? Okay, so let's look at the second questions. We're doing the same exact thing. You're going to read their prompt first and then begin coloring their answers, where you are coloring in the restating of the prompt in pink. You are coloring in their period in purple. Where they correctly answer the prompt is in yellow. Where they explain their answer is in green. And where they provide correct evidence is in blue. Go ahead and do that now for question set 2. Reagan.
I know the format of this one has like an A, B, and C.
Yeah, so they should have 3 paragraphs nonetheless,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, but the first one is like just that one person.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, they should still restate the prompt because that's exactly what you're supposed to do, correct?
Yeah.
You restate the prompt and you address what?
What do we do if they only have like 1 paragraph?
One
Like,
paragraph?
They have all the 3 points and they're like first
You're going to write a note. We're going to get to it. So go through and highlight the way you're supposed to, where they restate the prompt, they put the periods, they do the correctly. What?
So it's still okay if they restate the prompt, but they add the ruler's name. And
Yeah,
stuff?
they're supposed to. That's part of the answer. Yeah, because that's what the prompt is, Daniel. And then the answer to the question is the ruler, right? And their explanation is where they talk about how they consolidate and legitimize their rule, right? Things may not be there. They may not explain why something happened. They may not have provided evidence. You need to make sure you're reading, and if it's not there, it's not there. Everyone should be on their second ruler at this point. What's up? It would be a long sentence, which I'm comfortable with because you've seen a couple of my answers were done in one. Sometimes they were done in two, just depending on what I was comfortable with. But, I mean, it can't just be like one word. That's not an explanation. What?
So like say like in a sentence they could have green and blue.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It just depends. Sometimes it's two sentences, like, as you saw me write. Sometimes it's one sentence. It's completely up to you, but they both need to be there in order to get the points. Everyone should be finishing up on 2 and working on 3. See, you're not doing much back there. What's happening? You're all done? And they're scored correctly.
They all
They will be, yes. They have everything. It's perfect.
they did really good on this.
They did really well on it. Good. What?
I'm just trying to make sure.
Oh, you're good. What?
The person said like they did the first part one way where she was measuring the calories and comparing CE in the first chunk, and then after it says another example.
No. Then you don't get the points for restating the prompt or saying the period. Reagan, do you think there's a reason why we're doing this today? Do you think there's a reason why I taught you the formats yesterday? And today we're going through and making sure that you are absolutely doing it in every situation? Yes. Guess what you will never make the mistake again doing? Yep. Okay. Everyone should be within a minute of being completely done with their coloring. Once you have finished your coloring, if every paragraph, because everything should be broken up into paragraphs, a ruler should be in a separate paragraph, every single ruler should be in a separate paragraph to make it easier to read. Would you agree it makes it easier to read? Which is why you will always set it up that way, which is exactly why we're doing this today. In case you didn't hear what I was talking to Reagan about, is that the reason why I'm doing this today is for you to see how much easier it is to score when it's literally done that way. Because you get a point for restating the damn prompt. It is the easiest thing because all you're doing is copying what they have. So why wouldn't we get the damn point? Can we agree? It takes no intelligence to do it. You get a point for acknowledging the date range and being in the date range. So why the hell would we miss that point? Those are the easiest 2 points in the history of the world. It's literally copying. Okay? Then it comes the harder stuff, which is the actual content, which you know will be a struggle, which is why we're moving quickly so I can help you plan your essays tonight. Okay? So those are the 2 easiest points. So I'm going to teach you that you will get the easiest points and you will struggle on the harder points. Is everyone clear on that? Can we agree that we definitely understand this now?
Yes.
That is why we're doing this. Is so you will not make these mistakes again. That is what writing week is about. I teach you a skill, then we clean it up. Then I teach you a skill, then we clean it up. That's what happens. So everyone should be scoring their question number 2, just like we did with question number 1. You should be writing it on the columns. I'm assuming that everyone should get 1 perfect score of a 5 at least, right? The first one, and then people are going to be losing points from here on out. Probably getting 2 out of the 5 points for the other paragraphs or where they should be. If they did not break it up into separate paragraphs, okay? If they did not break it up into separate paragraphs, you're going to punish them by 2 points. Minus 2 points for not having separate paragraphs. There we go. So then you're going to come up with your grand score. Your total score is out of 15, of course. And you're going to write that total score at the top of the page, just like we did for the other ones, Jared.
What if they shorten the restating question?
To what?
Like a ruler who legitimizes?
No. You have to restate the whole prompt. You have a question? You're good? Okay. So at the top of the page, you need to write the total score out of 15. Total score out of 15. Okay, so once you have your total score out of 15, now we're going to add it up for a grand total out of how many? 35. So at the top of the page, by their name, you're going to write the new total over 35, and you're going to circle it. So we know what the completed answer, the total is. So at the very top of the page where they have their name, you're going to write their grand total over 35. Is everyone clear on that? Everyone sees exactly what they should be doing. Your name's on this, so I'll know if you mess this up. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, now what you are going to do is you are going to put the essay and their prompts together in a pile, and you're going to hand it to the person who owns it. Hand it back to the person who owns it. Okay. First things first, everyone should have their own essays and prompts in front of them. This is not that hard, people. It's literally passing papers. 3, 2, 1. I am not. Please listen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not. Everyone should have their prompts because everyone needs their prompts because you'll be writing prompts. Everyone should be looking at their scores right now. I am not collecting these today, but I will be collecting them. I want you to look at them over the weekend. Don't you think that'll be helpful? Writing your future essay so you don't make these mistakes again. Can we agree? So, I will be collecting these on Monday with your other 2 essays coming out of this packet. Is everyone clear? You are going to take these home, and you should have them out on your desk while you were working on your second essay sets. Is everyone clear on that? So, the reason I am not collecting it right now is not because I'm not going to score it, because everything you do will be scored in this classroom and recorded. Nothing is for free. Your work, your time is seen, and you will get points accordingly. Is everyone clear on that? I am not collecting it today because I want you to look at the mistakes you made and make sure you're not making those mistakes again. I think we can all agree that you're a little annoyed with yourself if you lost a bunch of points. Can we agree? So, with that being said, you're going to take these home and you're going to use them to write your next set of essays. Is everyone clear on that? So, on Monday, you will be turning in all 4 of these essays that come from this packet, and you'll have 2 from the packet I'm handing out today. Is everyone clear? You've already written 2. This weekend you'll write 4 short answer questions, okay? And then on Monday, we will collect them all. Is everyone clear on how this is working? So you are turning these in. You're just not going to turn it until Monday, so you have a reference point. Do you need one more? Sure, what's up?
Will we have like a playing sheet on the actual exam? Like we're space we can like write.
Yeah, it's going to look just like this. You're going to have big open space, which is why I set it up like this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to have out. If you look at the top of this heading, ladies and gentlemen, you will see it says AP, pre-AP round 2. Do you see it? If you look at the one that you just wrote on, that you did for homework, it says pre-AP. You see the difference in the headings? Everyone's clear on the difference on the headings, okay? So, with that being said, I want you to know that tonight for homework, you have the question number 3 and 4 from packet 1. Does everyone understand what packet 1 is? Okay, packet 1. So you have questions number 3 and 4. That'll finish off packet 1. Then you have questions number 1 and 2 from packet 2. That is what is for homework this weekend. How many passes do you need, Chuck? Okay, so this weekend for homework, you are doing the 2 essays you did not touch last night from the packet 1. Then you are completing question number 1 and question number 2 in the new packet for a grand total of 4. Everyone's clear on that. Now, you have a weekend to complete it, which is why you have 4 essays. Okay, I'm trying to be respectful of your weekday schedule, which is why I only assigned 2 last night. On Monday, guess how many you're writing an LEQ on Monday night. So you're going to see it in class and stuff like that. So I'm trying to give you more on the weekend. I think that makes logical sense, right? Okay, and then you'll hopefully have a little bit less on the weekday, but it's writing week, things happen. What? Okay, so everyone is crystal clear on what is for homework this weekend, yes? Okay, so let's get started then. as you saw in class yesterday, the more we do in class, the less homework you have and the less thinking you have to do. You just have to do the writing. On Monday, you will turn in your planning and your essays. All of that, it gets counted for. So, everyone should have question number 3 in packet 1 open and ready to go. If you still have crayons out, put them away. We're done with crayons for the day. I hope that you see how important is your formatting and making sure you're sticking to it. Even if the question doesn't label A, B, C, you should be labeling. I think we had a lot of learning lessons this morning, yes? There you go. So you make sure you use what we did this morning to help you with your essays this evening. Not this evening. It's Friday. Don't do them tonight. Ew, get a life. Right? So whatever day you do them, have them out on your desk. It will help you with your planning. What? Did you have a question, my love? You're okay? Use the artwork below in your knowledge of world history to answer all parts of the following questions. Who can raise their hand? Remember, the faster you work, the faster I work, the less work you have to do on your own. Who can tell me what is this? Maggie?
Terracotta soldier.
Terracotta soldiers. Who can tell me something about the terracotta soldiers? Oh, God, people. Every hand should be up. We've covered this. What do you got, Brian? It's the Qin Dynasty. So it's the Qin Dynasty. Terracotta soldiers. Okay, and who built it? Who can raise your hand and tell me who built it? Oh no, oh geez, Evan.
Chin with the fancy last name.
Qin Shuandu. All right, here we go. One detachment of the formidable life-size terracotta army. Now, if it's in bold italicized under the image, it always is giving you a caption about what the image is. Anything AP gives you, you need to read because there's always hints in there. It's one of the few things AP does kindly. One detachment of the formidable life-size terracotta army buried in the vicinity of Qin Shuandi's tomb to protect the emperor after his death. The army consists of soldiers by tens of thousands, along with weapons, horses, carts, and equipment. Identify and explain one factor that enabled Qin to develop the military capacity alluded to in the construction of this army. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the faster you move, the faster I move, the better your life is. Who can tell me what is one factor that enabled the Qin to develop the military capacity in this image? So if you don't know the answer, I'd open your damn notebooks because staring at me, staring at you ain't going to solve this problem. And if we don't figure it out together, you're going to have to do it all by yourself. So I'd open your notebooks. Let's do it. What do you got?
Is it asking how big his army was, or how
No.
big the terracottas?
The terracottas is used as a ploy to get you to tell me why the Qin have so much power. So, guys, the question is who can tell me what the question is asking? Daniel asked a great question, and clearly he's not the only one. What is the question asking us to tell him? What do you got for me, Madison?
It's asking what allowed them to have such a
There you go. Yeah, what allowed them? Who can raise their hand and tell me what allowed the Qin to be this powerful? Alexa.
They implemented legalism.
Legalism. Legalism. And what is legalism, Alexa?
It's the belief that the government has all the authority.
Okay, it's the belief the government has all the authority. Okay, so one factor that enabled Qin. All right, so we have given the answer. We have explained what it is. You see what we've done. Now that we've done our color coding, is it more clear what we're doing? We've given the answer. We've explained the answer. Now what do we need to have? Evidence. Okay, so what can we say to prove that we know about the Qin dynasty? Reagan.
that they burned all the books.
Is that going to show how military powerful they are? No. What do you got? Evelyn.
Oh, I was just going to say
Execution? Nah. It's not going to show how powerful they are. What do you got, Emma? There you go. So what do we call that? You can't use it unless you can tell me what it's called. Warring States. Warring States predated the Qin when they rose to power. They unified China with their strong military. Perfect. That's a bomb answer. Nice job, Emma. All right, here we go. B. What's up? Sorry. All right, identify and explain one way in which the construction reflects the development of new cultural identities in the first century. So who can tell me what the question's asking me? Come on. What is this question asking? Oh, what do you got? Ashlyn.
How the terracotta soldiers, like, were part of their culture.
Okay. So we're looking at how the Qin changed the culture of China. So who can tell me, how did the Qin change the culture of China? You have to make sure you understand the question before you can answer the question. Sam, what do you got? That is really great evidence, but you've done nothing to answer the question. Sorry. Come on, people. Think faster. If you throw out bad answers, I will help you. If you're just sitting there staring at me, that's a problem. What do you got, Shannon?
It kind of made like a really strong model. Basically acting.
Guys, if you have a bunch of dudes in military uniform, thousands of them, what does that tell you is the most important thing in China? Yeah. Is that a big cultural change? Yes. Oh, militarism. Militarism. Okay. Becomes the foundation of Chinese culture during the Qin. Becomes the foundation of Chinese culture and the removal of cultural achievements. So, what can we use as evidence, Sam? They kill scholars. Kill scholars. And destroy books. Okay, do you see how that answers the question? If all of a sudden, if you have library after library of libraries, okay, if underneath they built a massive library, what would that tell you about the Qin? What was the most important thing to the Qin? Libraries, culture, okay? If they have a massive sculptures of military personnel, what is the most important thing to them? There you go. Do you see how we make these connections here, people? C. Identify and explain one way in which the Qin militarism affected interregional politics in the period 600 BCE to 600 CE. So, who can tell me, how did the Qin interact with other people? Come on. What do you got, Katie? Wait, what? What about the Qin?
They had,
Yeah, but that's not telling me about interregional. Who can tell me what interregional means? Who can raise their hand and tell me what interregional means? Jared. Who can tell me? Sophia. It's other regions. Okay, so it's other regions. So how does the Qin interact with other regions? What you got, Maggie? They fought with them. So what are they definitely not doing? They're definitely not trading. Have we talked about any trading empire or trading component to it? Absolutely not. So, identify and explain one way in which the Qin militarism affected interregional politics in the period of 600 BCE to 600 CE. Who can tie it all together for me? Who can tell me? Come on, tie it together. Daniel?
What they're building on the Great Wall,
That is a bomb answer, for sure. So what does that tell you?
since they need protection from
They have strong rivalries. Strong rivalries / enemies. Okay? That's a bomb answer. Okay, so strong rivalries or enemies. Okay, they build the Great Wall. They start. I'm going to say start. They start. They don't build it all. They start the Great Wall of China. To keep outside invaders out. Okay, so what can we use to kind of prove our answer? Because by saying the Great Wall of China, we've kind of done our evidence, so we're going a little bit backwards on this. So what can we also add, Joey? The X-Men?
Yes.
There you go. The X-Men are their largest rivals. Perfect. Excellent. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. So are they friendly with their neighbors? no, they're kind of jerks. All right, flip it over. Here we go. Use the two passages below in your knowledge of world history to answer all parts of the question that follows. Primary source A, Edward Gibbon. In the 1780s, Gibbon published The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. The decline of Rome was the natural and inevitable effect of immoderate greatness. Prosperity ripened the principle of decay. The cause of the destruction multiplied with the extent of conquest, and as soon as time or accident had removed the artificial supports, the stupendous fabric yielded to the pressure of its own weight. The story of its ruin is simple and obvious. And instead of inquiring why the Roman Empire was destroyed, we should be surprised that it subsisted so long. Who can summarize what Edward Gibbon believes? I've already talked to Reagan. Come on, people. I've already talked to Shannon. We're literally wasting time on summarizing. That's ridiculous. Lily.
It's saying that like it was huge and that's what
Yeah, Rome was gonna fall. Rome was gonna fall anyway. And it's because it was too big. Perfect. Primary source B, Finley Hooper, in this passage from his Roman Realities, 1967. The year was 476. For those who demand to know the date Rome fell, that is it. Others will realize that the fall of Rome was not an event, but a process. Or, to put it another way, there was no fall at all. Ancient Roman civilization simply became something else, which is medieval. So, who can summarize what this is saying? Sterling.
if people like if you want the exact date, it was actually not an exact date, it just happening evolving.
Yeah, Rome evolved. Rome evolved, didn't fall. Okay, so there are two summaries to our documents. Identify and explain one piece of historical evidence that would support Gibbon's interpretation about the collapse of the Roman Empire. Who can give me an example of a reason why Rome is going to fall? Joey.
Attack because of their great size and their
Who sacks Rome?
the
Barbarians. The Germanic tribes. The Germanic tribes are also known as the barbarians. We can write Germanic tribes. Germanic tribes. Okay. Their borders are too large. Or too big to maintain. Okay, to maintain. And what's our evidence? Who can give me, anyone can give me a list of one of the barbarians? A specific name? Julius Caesar conquered that region. They call them the Franks, but yeah. The Franks. Okay, the Gauls actually you can use. The Gauls would be your specifics. B. Identify and explain one piece of historical evidence that would support Hooper's interpretation from the collapse of the Roman Empire. What about Rome continues long beyond Rome? Come on, I've already talked to Joey. What do you got, Brian? Latin. How often do you speak Latin, Brian? Romantic languages are Phoenician, not Roman. What do you got, Emma? Architecture is a great thing. Architecture. Okay, so Roman style buildings will be recreated by future generations. Okay, you can give me an example of other places they use Roman style architecture. Come on, people, we've talked about this 10,000 times. Evelyn. Colosseum was built by Romans, so no. What do you got? D.C. Washington, D.C. is a great answer. Washington, D.C. and specifically the Lincoln Memorial. Okay. C. From the interpretations above, select one, in your opinion, better accounts for the fall of the Roman Empire. Briefly explain your choice by the addition of evidence beyond that of A or B. So which one do we like better? That Rome was gonna fall or that Rome has just evolved? We like B better? Okay, so who can give me another example of how Rome evolved? Guys, what is something that is Roman that's going to continue on long beyond Rome? Brian? The what? Ah, that's Greek, man. No.
It has an executive branch.
See ya. I would do 12 tables, people. 12 tables will be reused by Byzantines and foundation of every other society. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to write question number 3 and 4, and you're going to answer 1 and 2 completely on your own. How exciting! Make sure you know what it is for homework. I plan 2, you're planning 2. Sounds fair to me. See ya. Make sure you are looking at your color-coded stuff because that'll help you this weekend.
If there's not like a date in the here, do we have to like put one in anyways? Or
Yeah,
is
you're
that
just gonna write like
just write whatever
yeah.
time period is?
Did you want this back or?
No, that's yours. That's your textbook. Next week we will be using your textbook for your regular assignments. Did you get everything we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read it.
Okay, and you know exactly what's the homework this weekend?
Yeah.
You're gonna really struggle
Yeah.
because you just don't have the content knowledge. But I'm expecting that you can do these because I've already planned them out for you. They should be pretty well done. I'm expecting you to not do well, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not
you're
trying
good.
to like be rude. But you're not going to do well on the 2 you have to do on your own because you just don't know the content. But I would like you to try.
Okay.
I would like you to try, flip through the book, see what you can find, but don't spend more than like an hour doing it.
All right.
Do not do that. But I would like to see what you can come up with. Okay? It was nice meeting you.
She's such a good student. You will love her.
I don't know who you were talking to. Who was you talking to?
She was talking to you about
About the new chick?
Yes.
Can you imagine showing up today?
Gosh, I was stressed for her.